Hey, welcome back to Talkin' English. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Daniel. If this is your first time here, we're really glad you found us.
This channel is where we practice the kind of English people actually use in real life.
Yeah, not perfect textbook sentences, more like real conversations with pauses, shortcuts, and those, moments.
Because honestly, that's what English sounds like when you're not taking a test.
And today's topic is one of those things that seems super simple, but somehow gets awkward all the time.
Daily life.
Yep, like when someone asks, "So, what do you usually do on weekdays?"
On the surface, that's a totally normal question.
Harmless, even.
And yet, it can crash a conversation so fast.
Because your brain immediately goes, "Wait, do they want the real answer?
Or the polite answer.
Or the short answer?"
Or the answer that doesn't make you sound boring.
And then you start overthinking it.
Which is the fastest way to stop sounding natural.
The funny part is daily life is literally what we spend most of our time doing.
You'd think it would be easy to talk about.
But a lot of people either freeze.
Or they give a list that sounds like they're reading their calendar out loud.
I wake up at 7, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I come home, I sleep.
And the other person's like, wow, thrilling.
Right, and then you feel bad because you didn't mean it to sound that dull.
You were just trying to answer the question.
Exactly. So if you've ever had that moment where you're talking and you can feel the energy dropping.
Like you can almost hear the conversation getting quieter.
Yeah, that's what we're working on today.
Because daily life conversations are actually a really big deal.
They show up everywhere. First meetings, coworkers, classmates, small talk with friends.
Even dating.
Oh yeah, especially dating. So, what do you do after work is basically a classic.
And here's the thing, we're not trying to make your life sound more exciting than it is.
No fake hobbies, no pretending you hike every weekend.
We just want to help you talk about your routine in a way that feels human.
Natural, relaxed, and easy for someone to respond to.
Because the goal isn't a perfect answer.
The goal is to keep the conversation moving.
And once you know how to do that, even boring topics stop being boring.
They become kind of cozy, actually.
Exactly. Like you're letting someone see what your real life looks like.
So today we're going to take weekdays, weekends, routines, little habits,
And make it something you can talk about without sounding like a robot.
and without feeling like you have to apologize for being a normal person.
Being normal is fine.
More than fine, it's relatable.
So let's start with the real problem.
Yeah, why does this question feel awkward in the first place?
Okay, so we ended part 1 with that question. Why does this feel awkward in the first place?
And I think the answer is because daily life sounds simple, but it's actually kind of a trap.
Yeah, it's the kind of question where you can easily give an answer that's technically correct and still kill the conversation.
Like, you answer it, and the other person just goes, "Oh, okay."
Exactly. And the biggest reason is people turn it into a schedule report.
A literal timeline.
I wake up at 7, I commute, I work, I eat, I sleep.
It's not wrong, but it feels like you're reading a routine manual.
And the listener is just standing there like, cool, so what do I do with that?
Because there's no emotion in it.
No personality.
No little hook that invites a follow-up.
And that's why daily life becomes boring, not because your life is boring.
But because the way you describe it has no shape.
It's like describing a movie by listing the scenes in order.
First, they open the door. Then they sit down. Then they talk.
Like, okay, but what's the vibe?
Exactly. Daily life needs vibe too.
And here's the conversation killer we need to name.
The killer is the robotic routine list.
Yep, the wake up, work, eat, sleep answer.
It ends conversations because it doesn't give the other person any place to jump in.
And it also makes you sound like you don't want to talk.
Even if you do.
Especially in English, short factual lists can feel very closed.
Like you're shutting the door gently.
There's another thing too. People feel pressure to sound interesting.
Oh yeah, Sophia, this is huge.
Because when someone asks about your routine, your brain goes, wait, my routine is kind of normal,
And then you start judging yourself while you're speaking.
which makes you talk even more stiffly.
Or you try to add something that isn't really you.
Like suddenly you become a gym person in the conversation,
Or you act like you're super productive every morning.
when in reality, you're just trying to survive Monday.
Exactly.
And then there's the listener side.
Right, because when the listener hears a routine list, they don't know what to respond with.
They can't really ask, wow, do you also breathe oxygen?
Yeah, it's not exactly a fun follow-up,
So they go with the safest thing. Oh, nice.
which is basically conversation comfort food.
And then you both kind of drift away to another topic.
So the awkwardness comes from both sides feeling stuck.
And honestly, this is why daily life small talk is so common but also so easy to mess up.
Because it's everywhere, and it seems like there's nothing to say, even though there actually is.
Your daily life has little habits, little preferences, little moments that are uniquely you,
Like how you start your morning,
or what you do when you're stressed.
or what you look forward to at the end of the day.
But if you only give the timeline, none of that shows up.
So the good news is, once you stop answering like a robot,
You instantly sound more natural.
and the conversation instantly feels easier.
Which brings us to the next part, Daniel.
Yeah, how do you answer in a way that's still simple, but not a boring schedule report?
Okay, so if the conversation killer is the robotic routine list, the obvious next question is, what do we do instead?
Yeah, because people still genuinely ask this stuff. What do you usually do on weekdays? Is everywhere.
Exactly. So we need a way to answer that feels natural but doesn't turn into 7 a.m., 7:15, 7:30.
We're not filing a report.
Right, we're having a conversation.
So the idea for part 3 is start smart.
Meaning, before you give details, you give a picture,
Like a headline,
a vibe sentence,
a frame.
something that lets the other person understand your weekdays in one breath.
And then, if they're interested, you zoom in.
This is the part a lot of learners miss, Sophia.
Yeah, because in school, you're trained to answer questions directly with facts.
But in real small talk, people don't need your full schedule.
They need something they can react to.
So here are a few frame sentences that work really well and they're super easy.
And none of them sound like a speech.
The first type is what I call the most days frame.
Like, most weekdays are pretty packed for me.
Or, most days are kind of predictable, honestly.
Or, weekdays are usually a blur.
That's a good one.
Because it's real.
And the listener can immediately react, oh, why? Or, same.
Exactly. You've already created connection.
Another frame is the I'm the kind of person who frame.
This one is gold because it sounds personal.
Like, I'm the kind of person who needs a slow morning.
Or, I'm the kind of person who gets most things done at night.
Or, I'm the kind of person who can't function without coffee.
That one is basically half the internet.
True, but it works because it's relatable.
And it tells people something about you, not just your schedule.
The third frame is the right now frame.
Oh yeah, because daily life changes depending on your season of life.
Exactly. Student life, new job life, busy project life, burnout life, it's all different.
So you can say, right now, my weekdays are pretty work-focused.
Or, right now I'm in a phase where I'm trying to get healthier, so I'm more routine.
Or, right now, I'm just trying to survive the week.
That's honest.
And people laugh because they feel it.
Now, here's the key rule, and it sounds small, but it changes everything.
After the frame sentence, don't keep talking nonstop.
Yes, leave a beat.
Because if you give a good frame, the other person will usually respond.
They'll ask, what do you mean? Or why is it so packed?
Or what does a blur look like for you?
And now you're in a real conversation instead of a monologue.
But let's say the other person doesn't react yet.
Yeah, sometimes they're shy or they're also thinking.
In that case, you can add one small supporting detail.
Just one, not five.
Like, most weekdays are pretty packed. Work takes up most of my day.
Or, weekdays are usually a blur. I'm in meetings nonstop.
Or, I need a slow morning, so I always give myself a quiet first hour.
See? That's enough.
It's enough to paint the picture, but it still leaves space.
And that's what we want, space.
Because space invites the other person to join in.
And it also makes you sound more confident.
Exactly. When you're not rushing to explain everything, you sound calm.
Another thing, these frame sentences help you avoid sounding boring.
Because you're not saying, I wake up, I work, I sleep.
You're saying, most days are pretty packed, or I'm someone who needs a slow morning.
Which automatically has personality.
Sophia, can we do one quick mini example?
Yeah, let's do it.
Someone asks, what do you usually do on weekdays? Okay, honestly, most weekdays are pretty packed for me.
Great. And then if they ask, oh yeah, like what?
Mostly work and errands, and I try to squeeze in a workout if I can.
Perfect. That sounds like a human life.
Not a calendar printout.
Exactly.
So if you remember one thing from this part, it's this.
Start with a frame.
Give the big picture first.
Then add one small detail if you need it.
And from there, it becomes easy to talk about the rhythm of your day.
Which is exactly what we're getting into next.
Okay, so once you've started SMART, big picture first, the next move is supernatural.
Yeah, because people usually don't just want to know what you do.
They want to know what your life feels like.
Exactly. The rhythm, the mood.
And this is where daily life stops sounding like a boring routine and starts sounding like a real life.
The easiest way to do that is contrast.
Like busy versus slow,
Structured versus chaotic.
social versus quiet.
High energy versus low energy.
And the cool part is, you don't need fancy vocabulary.
You just need to stop describing your day like it's one single flat thing.
Because no one's life is the same all day.
Right. Even if you do the same job every day, the feeling changes.
So here's a simple way to talk about rhythm without sounding dramatic.
You basically say, my days are X, but...
That but is magic.
It adds depth instantly.
For example, my weekdays are pretty busy, but my mornings are actually calm.
Or, my schedule is structured, but my evenings are kind of chaotic.
That one feels real.
Because evenings are where plans fall apart.
Exactly. Or, my work days are intense, but I try to keep nights simple.
See? Now you've given the listener something emotional to react to.
They might say, oh, I'm the opposite. Or, how do you keep nights simple?
And boom, conversation.
Another easy contrast is comparing different days.
Like Monday versus Friday.
Or weekdays versus weekends.
You can say, Mondays feel like a sprint, but Fridays feel lighter.
Or weekdays are go, 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 but weekends are my reset.
Reset is such a good word here.
Yeah, because it's emotional without being too deep.
It sounds natural.
Also, rhythm can be about predictability.
Some people love predictable routines.
Others feel trapped by them.
So you can say, my routine is pretty predictable, which I actually like.
Or, my days are predictable, and honestly, it makes me feel a little stuck sometimes.
That second one is so relatable.
Because it's not complaining, it's just describing the feeling.
And it invites the listener to share their own feeling too.
Sophia, I think a lot of learners are scared to talk about feelings in English. Yeah, they worry it'll sound too serious.
But you don't have to be super deep.
You can keep it light.
Like, my weekdays are kind of a blur, but I like the momentum.
Or, my schedule is chaotic, but it keeps me from getting bored.
That's a great one.
Because it turns a negative into personality.
Exactly. And another rhythm thing is social energy.
Some people's daily life is very people-heavy.
Meetings, coworkers, clients, classmates.
Others are more solo. Work from home, studying alone, creative work.
So you can say, I'm around people all day, so by evening, I need silence.
Or, I'm alone most of the day, so I actually crave social time at night.
That's such a clean way to explain your rhythm.
And it makes your routine feel meaningful, not random.
Here's a small trick. Use usually and tends to.
Yes, those words make your sentences sound flexible and natural.
Like, my mornings tend to be slow.
My afternoons are usually the busiest part.
It sounds like real speech, not a rule.
And daily life is never a rule.
Another thing, don't be afraid to admit inconsistency.
Because that's real life.
You can say, I try to be structured, but I'm not always good at it.
Or, I'm organized at work, but my personal life is kind of messy.
That line is basically half of us.
And it's charming, honestly.
Because it sounds honest.
And honesty creates connection way faster than perfect English.
So, when you talk about daily life, don't just tell people what you do.
Tell them what it feels like.
Use contrast to give rhythm.
Busy but calm. Structured but chaotic. Social but drained.
And once you have that rhythm,
It becomes super easy to zoom into little scenes.
like the specific moments that happen every day.
Exactly. And that's what we'll do next. Okay, so now we've got the frame. We've got the rhythm. Your daily life has a mood.
And this is the fun part, because now we zoom in.
Yeah, instead of talking about your life like a summary, you talk about it like a scene.
Micro scenes, little moments.
And this is where your English starts sounding really natural because you're describing something you actually see.
Exactly. You're not inventing ideas, you're just replaying your day.
So let's pick a couple of high-frequency scenes that almost everybody has.
Morning commute, lunch, and evening are probably the big three.
You don't need all three, by the way.
Yeah, one or two is enough. If you do too many, it turns back into a list.
Exactly. We're not going back to the calendar report.
So let's start with mornings, because mornings reveal a lot about people.
Totally. Some people are calm morning people. Some people are chaos morning people.
And both are relatable.
So a micro scene for mornings isn't, I wake up at 7.
It's more like, my morning is kind of a race.
Or, my mornings are slow and quiet. I need time to become a person.
That line is so real.
And then you add 1 or 2 concrete details.
Like, I usually hit snooze at least twice.
Or, I'm basically on autopilot until I've had coffee.
Or, I like to play a podcast while I get ready.
Those details create a picture without you trying too hard.
Now, if you commute, that's an amazing micro scene.
Because commutes have built-in imagery. Subway, bus, traffic, walking, crowded streets.
And they're emotional, too.
Like, my commute is honestly the most exhausting part of my day.
Or the opposite. My commute is my quiet time.
And then you make it specific.
I squeeze onto the train with a million people and just stare into space.
Or, I walk to work, and it's actually kind of nice. 15 minutes, fresh air, no emails yet.
That no emails yet is such a vibe.
Right? And notice how these aren't complicated sentences.
They're just real.
Also, micro scenes are great because they invite reactions.
The listener can go, oh, I hate crowded trains, or I wish I could walk to work.
Exactly. That's how you get back and forth.
Now, let's move to lunch. Lunch is underrated.
Lunch tells you whether someone's day is controlled by work or not.
And whether they're the kind of person who meal preps or survives on snacks.
So you can say, lunch is usually rushed for me.
And then add a detail. I eat at my desk way too often.
Or I just grab something quick and keep working.
Or I try to actually step outside for lunch so I don't feel trapped indoors all day.
That's a really nice one because it shows a value.
Yeah, micro scenes can hint at personality without you saying, my personality is.
Exactly.
Now, evenings. Evenings are where people really show their real selves.
Because that's when you're done performing.
Right. So you can describe your evening in one sentence first.
Evenings are my reset time.
Or, evenings are kind of chaotic at my place.
Or, evenings are quiet. I just need to shut my brain off.
And then you drop one scene.
Like, I get home, change into something comfortable immediately, and just exist for a minute.
That is such a universal image.
Or, I cook something simple while I scroll on my phone and pretend I'm relaxing.
That one hurts because it's true.
Or, I go to the gym after work, not because I love it, but because it clears my head.
Again, personality, motivation.
And this is the key idea. Choose 1 or 2 scenes that represent your day.
Don't try to summarize everything.
Pick moments with texture. Sounds, feelings, little habits.
And if you're worried you'll ramble, just remember one scene, two details, then stop.
Leave space for the other person to respond.
Because a micro scene is basically an invitation.
It says, here's a little window into my life.
And most people will naturally look through that window and share theirs.
And once you can do that,
Talking about daily life stops being a boring topic,
it becomes a connection topic.
which is the perfect bridge into the next part.
Yeah, because once you have scenes and rhythm.
You can start talking about what your routine actually means to you.
Okay, so we've got the rhythm, we've got the scenes, and this is the part where daily life stops being what I do and becomes why I do it.
Yeah, because if you only describe the scenes, it's like watching a short clip with no context.
Exactly. Like, cool, you commute, you eat lunch, you scroll on your phone. But who are you in all of that?
And the good news is, you don't need to get super deep or dramatic.
Right, we're not trying to turn small talk into a therapy session.
We're just adding a little meaning so it sounds human.
Because when people ask about your daily life, they're often asking something softer underneath.
Like, what kind of person are you?
What matters to you?
How do you spend your energy?
And that's why this part is so powerful.
It's also why it makes conversations feel closer faster.
So let's talk about 3 simple meaning angles you can use: values, priorities, and energy.
And we'll keep it supernatural, like something you'd actually say.
First one, values. That's basically what you care about, even if you don't say it out loud.
Like some people value calm.
Some people value growth.
Some people value freedom or health or family time.
And your routine usually reflects that.
For example, if you're someone who protects your mornings, that's a value.
You can say something like, I try to keep my mornings quiet because it really affects my mood.
That's not a big speech, it's just one honest sentence.
Or, I'm big on having a slow start, otherwise my whole day feels rushed.
See? Now your routine has a reason.
And the listener can relate, even if their routine is totally different.
They might go, oh my God, same, or I wish I could do that.
Second angle, priorities. This is more like what you're focusing on right now.
Because daily life changes when your priorities change.
New job, exam season, family stuff, health stuff, moving, it all shifts.
And saying right now is such an easy way to make your routine feel current and real.
Like, right now, work is honestly my main focus, so my weekdays are pretty work-heavy.
Or, right now I'm trying to get healthier, so I'm building small routines around sleep and food.
That sounds normal.
And it also explains why your life looks the way it does without you over-explaining.
Sophia, I love the phrase, I'm in a season where.
Yes, it sounds natural and kind of gentle.
Like, I'm in a season where I'm saying no to a lot of plans because I need more rest.
Or, I'm in a season where I'm trying to be more disciplined.
That's a great way to upgrade I'm busy into something more meaningful.
Because busy is vague.
But busy because I'm building something feels different.
Even if what you're building is just a stable life.
Which is valid, by the way.
Third angle, energy. This one is huge, and it's so relatable.
Yeah, because different people have different batteries.
Some people wake up with energy. Some people earn it slowly.
Some people get energy from people. Some people lose energy from people.
And your routine is basically you managing that battery.
So you can say things like, my job is pretty people-heavy, so by evening, I need quiet time.
Or, I'm alone most of the day, so I actually try to meet friends after work.
That immediately tells the listener how you're wired.
And it also makes your routine make sense.
Another supernatural line is, I'm not a high-energy person in the morning.
Or, I'm weirdly productive at night.
Daniel, that's you.
Unfortunately, yes.
And that's the thing. When you talk about energy, it automatically sounds personal, not robotic.
Plus, it invites the other person to compare.
Which is basically the secret sauce of small talk.
Exactly. People love going, oh my God, same, or I'm the opposite.
Here's a key point. Meaning doesn't have to be serious.
It can be light.
Like, I work out after work because otherwise my brain doesn't shut up.
Or, I cook most nights because it's the only time I feel in control.
That's deep, but it doesn't sound dramatic. It sounds honest.
Or even just, I need a little alone time every day or I get cranky.
That's meaning too, and it's funny because it's true. Another thing people worry about is sounding selfish when they talk about their needs.
Like, is it okay to say I need rest?
Yes, it's human.
And you can soften it naturally.
With phrases like, I've realized,
Or, I've been trying to.
or I'm still working on this, but...
Those phrases make you sound thoughtful, not intense.
For example, I've realized I need more sleep than I thought, so I try not to stay up too late now.
Or, I'm trying to be better about boundaries, so I don't answer messages after a certain time.
That's a great one because it's relatable and it also shows personality.
And it's the kind of line that makes people share back.
They'll go, oh, I should do that, or I'm terrible at boundaries.
And suddenly, you're not stuck in a boring routine conversation anymore.
So if we put it all together, the upgrade is really simple.
You describe a scene, and then you add one sentence of meaning.
Not a paragraph, one sentence.
Like, I walk to work in the morning, and I like it because it's the only quiet part of my day.
Or, lunch is rushed, but I try to step outside for 10 minutes because it resets me.
Or, evenings are my reset time. I need that or I burn out.
That's it. Now your daily life sounds like yours.
Not like a generic schedule.
And honestly, this is where daily life becomes a really good connection topic.
Because you're not just trading information.
You're sharing how you live.
And that's basically sharing who you are.
Which is also why we need to be careful about one thing.
The conversation killers that show up when people try to talk about routines.
Yeah, because even with meaning, it's still easy to fall into old habits.
So next, we'll quickly review the biggest traps.
And the simple fixes that keep the conversation flowing. Okay, so before we jump into the practice answers, let's do a quick reality check.
Yeah, because daily life talk is one of those things that feels easy until you're actually in it.
And even if you understand the rhythm and the meaning, you can still fall into the same old traps.
So let's name the biggest ones and give you cleaner replacements.
Just a couple. We're not doing a whole lecture.
Exactly. This is like a quick don't step here warning.
Killer number 1 is the one we already called out earlier, the robotic routine list.
The wake up, commute, work, eat, sleep timeline.
It's not wrong, it's just dead.
Because it doesn't give the other person anything to react to.
It sounds like you're finishing the topic instead of opening it.
And the fix is super simple. Replace the list with a frame plus one detail.
So instead of I wake up at 7 and go to work, try,
Most weekdays are pretty packed, so I'm usually running on coffee.
or my weekdays are kind of a blur, but evenings are my reset time.
Those feel human.
And they leave room for a follow-up.
People can ask, why are you so packed? Or what do you do to reset?
Exactly. You've built an invitation.
Killer number 2 is a little sneaky. The nothing special answer.
Oh yeah, like, honestly, nothing much.
Or same thing every day.
Or I'm just busy.
These sound like you don't want to talk, even if you do.
And the other person usually backs off because they don't want to annoy you.
So the conversation dies politely.
The mature replacement here is keep it simple but add one tiny personal hook.
Like, if your life really is repetitive, you can still make it sound alive.
For example, instead of nothing much, you can say,
Honestly, my weekdays are pretty routine, but I've been trying to make my evenings more relaxing.
or it's mostly the same, but I'm trying to get better at taking breaks.
Or even, it's not exciting, but I kind of like the stability right now.
That last one is great because it's honest and it shows a value.
And it gives the listener something to respond to, like, oh, stability is nice, or I wish I had more routine.
Another little trap connected to this is over-apologizing.
Like, my life is so boring.
Or, sorry, I don't do anything. Sophia, you don't have to insult your own life just to be funny.
Exactly. And also, being normal is not a crime.
If you want a softer, more confident version, you can say,
Honestly, my life is pretty simple these days, and I'm okay with that.
or I've been keeping things low-key lately.
Low-key is such a useful phrase.
It sounds natural, and it doesn't shut the conversation down.
Because low-key still has a vibe.
So if we boil this whole review down, it's basically 2 rules.
Rule 1, don't give a timeline.
Give a frame and one detail.
Rule 2, don't say nothing much and close the door.
Add one tiny hook, something you like, something you're trying, or something you're managing.
And then stop talking and let the other person in.
Exactly. Leave space.
Because daily life talk isn't about impressing anyone,
It's about sounding real and making it easy for the other person to respond.
which is why the next part is going to be super practical.
Yeah, we're going to give you a couple of full answers you can literally steal.
Take it, use it, and make it yours.
All right, let's make this super usable. If someone asks you, so what do you usually do on weekdays? You want an answer that sounds natural, not like a schedule report.
And you also want something the other person can actually respond to. So we'll do 3 versions: student, office worker, and work from home or freelance.
You don't need to memorize them word for word.
Just copy the rhythm. Frame first, one scene, one meaning line, and then stop.
Okay, student version first.
Imagine you're talking to a classmate or someone you just met, and they ask about your weekdays.
Honestly, most weekdays are pretty study-focused for me. I usually have classes during the day, and in the afternoon, I try to find a quiet spot, like the library or a cafe, to get work done. I'm not super productive in the morning, so I kind of warm up slowly. But once it hits late afternoon, I can focus way better. I've been trying to keep my evenings a bit calmer, though, because if I study too late, I can't sleep. So I'll do something simple at night, maybe review notes for a bit, then just watch something light or scroll for a while to shut my brain off.
That one works because it doesn't list every hour.
Yeah, it gives a picture and it has personality. Not productive in the morning is very human.
And it also gives people follow-ups. What are you studying? Do you like cafes? Same, I can't focus in the morning. Now, office worker version.
The classic coworker small talk moment.
My weekdays are pretty packed, to be honest. Work takes up most of my energy, and the day moves fast because it's meetings, messages, and random tasks non-stop. My mornings are usually rushed. I'm basically on autopilot until I get coffee. But I try to keep my lunch simple and step away from my desk for a few minutes so I don't feel trapped. After work, I'm usually tired, so I keep things low-key. I'll cook something easy or grab food, and I try to do one small thing that feels like mine, like a short walk, a quick workout, or just quiet time. I've realized if I don't have that reset, the whole week starts to feel too heavy.
That last line is great. Reset.
Yeah, because it explains why your evening looks the way it does.
And it doesn't sound dramatic, it sounds realistic.
Also, one small thing that feels like mine is such a good hook. People will ask, what's your thing?
Now work from home or freelance version, because the rhythm is totally different.
And people are always curious about it.
My weekdays are a bit more flexible because I work from home. I usually start slow, like I'll answer a few messages, make coffee, and ease into work. Then I have a really focused block where I try to get the important stuff done. The nice part is I can take breaks when I need to, but the hard part is it's easy to work too long if I'm not careful. So I try to set little boundaries, like taking a real lunch away from my screen, or going outside for 10 minutes just to reset. By evening, I'm usually done with people and screens, so I keep things simple. Maybe cook, tidy up a bit, and do something that feels offline. I like the freedom, but I've learned I need structure or my days get messy fast.
That one is perfect because it has both pros and cons.
Yeah, it's honest. Freedom, but you need structure.
And it gives the listener lots of easy follow-ups. Do you like working from home? How do you stay disciplined?
Exactly. That's what we want. Answers that keep the conversation alive. All right, before we wrap up, there's a small culture thing here that's worth knowing.
Yeah, because daily life questions aren't always literal.
A lot of the time, it's not really, please give me your routine,
It's more like, how are you doing these days?
or what's your life like right now?
That's why the best answers aren't super detailed.
They're warm and easy to respond to.
And this is also where work-life balance shows up in conversation.
In a lot of cultures, people casually ask about work, but they also want to hear you have a life outside of it.
Like, if you only talk about work, it can sound like you're stressed or trapped.
And if you only say, nothing much, it can sound like you're shutting people out.
So the sweet spot is what we practice today.
A simple frame, one small scene, and one meaning line.
Just enough to sound real, but not so much that you overshare.
That's the small talk etiquette piece. Give people something they can gently hold.
And then let them hold it back.
And if you're thinking, my routine isn't interesting, remember, routines are relatable.
People connect through normal life way more than through impressive life.
So the next time someone asks you that question from the beginning, so what do you usually do on weekdays?
You don't have to panic and list your schedule.
You can answer like a real person.
And make it easy for the other person to join in.
All right, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with us on Pink English.
We'll see you next time.